Hey there, welcome to day 30 of our Get Up and Go Challenge. Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here, day 30 already of our free 40-day challenge. Today we're talking about how to be a loved master guaranteed. Guaranteed in 30 days if you follow the 6-step process that I'm going to share with you in a couple of minutes. Of course, we're talking about our SOAP framework as we look at a primary area of our life. I'm doing emotional this time through the SOAP model, and we're on A, the A in SOAP of our model. And A, of course, stands for action. What are you going to do? Yesterday, we brainstormed as part of the O, all of the options, at least 10. You came up with at least 10 ideas of what you could do to get from where you are to where you want to be. And today, A stands for the, okay, well, we brainstormed all the possible options. Now, how do we analyze those? How do we look at those options, all the possible alternatives and things we could do, and pick one so we can take action really fast? Because the thing about action is you want to take action when? You want to take action right now. The only time we can actually act or move or do anything is in the present moment. Think about it. We did things in the past, but we can't go back and change or do anything about the things we did in the past. What we did, we did. What happened, happened. The result was the result of everything we'd experienced up into that moment that we did something. And now we know the result of that. Was it good or bad? It doesn't matter. We got a result. Our objective isn't to always think or believe that we're going to get incredibly positive results from everything we do. Boy, that would be living in fantasy land. Wouldn't that be awesome if every time we did something, we got an awesome, amazing result? Yeah, maybe. But I've found that when I get good results, I tend to just keep doing what I'm doing. And I might be cutting myself off from the possibility of getting great results. But if I try something and I bomb and it doesn't work, guess what I have to do? I have to figure out and try something else. I can't keep doing what I was doing. So I'm always on a track of continuous improvement when I have some failures mixed in with the successes. And that gives me a whole different perspective on failure, right? Now, instead of getting bummed out and frustrated and stressed out and mad about any time something goes wrong, I actually get a little excited about it. Because I'm like, okay, well, I screwed that up. Now what am I going to do? Because that was an epic failure. Okay, what's next? And instead of dwelling on and living in the, oh my God, this is so awful, it's the end of the world because I made this mistake, I'm like, all right, well, that didn't work. What will work? Let's try something else. Like Thomas Edison sometimes. Let's just keep trying things 10,000 times until we get them to work. You think in those 10,000 times Thomas Edison maybe wasn't a little frustrated trying to figure out the light bulb thing? Yeah. Have you ever started to run your own business? Have you ever wanted to date somebody that wasn't interested in you? Did you ever learn to walk? Right. Did you stand up and run the first time you tried to walk as a kid? Well, you might remember it that way, but I bet if you ask your parents or somebody that was around, like your siblings, they might tell you, yeah, it took you 6 months or 8 months to figure out how to actually walk, much less run. So today, whatever area you're working on, it's all about taking action. I want you to look at that list of 10 things, or hopefully more, because like I say, if you're going to brainstorm, go for the gusto, do at least 100. But if you did 10, if you did 3, if you did 1, at least act upon the one thing today. So emotionally, we've been going through, and I've been talking about, that's our action item today, by the way, is to pick one thing on your list and take immediate action toward it. Maybe you have big things on your list and you can't accomplish the whole thing between today and tomorrow, but you can at least take the first step toward one of the actions on your list, right? And it doesn't have to be a huge thing. Maybe it's make a phone call. Maybe it's write a post in social media. Maybe it's ask a question. Maybe it's phone a friend. Whatever it is, as soon as you make a decision and decide you want to find something out or test something, take an action toward that. Get curious, dive in, do something. And I mean, do something. Don't just think about it. Don't just say, oh, I'm just going to think about it in my head and I'm not going to really do anything about it. Because guess what? Guess where it'll stay? In your head, and it'll be, a year down the road, and you'll still be wondering and frustrated why you haven't moved in the area of your life that you want to move in. If I don't do anything about how I deal with things emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually, whatever else, right now, when am I going to? Probably never, right? Because it's easy to tuck stuff away and not deal with it or not handle it or just not do anything about it because we're busy. Even in a pandemic, we're still really, really busy, aren't we? I don't know about you, but I seem to fill every hour in my day, every day, whether I'm in a pandemic or whether I'm not. It's just the nature of us as human beings. We don't like vacuums, so we fill stuff in with things that come our way. And if we're not choosing those things, those things are being chosen for us and selected for us by outside influences, by other people, by other entities that we might not want to be choosing for us. So today we're going to talk about a 6-step process guaranteed to make you a loved master. Now, I talked about victimhood the day before yesterday. We talked about being a master yesterday. And the big difference between being a victim and being a victor, or being a victim and a master, is emotional, right? It's our feeling of connection or our feeling of separation. Victims, the main emphasis on being a victim is in some way, shape, or form fear, right? There's some kind of fear around something, or we've had a bad experience that actually made us a victim. You know, if you've been abused, you know, and mentally, physically, spiritually, or in any way, shape, or form, and who among us has not in some way, shape, or form been abused? And of course, like anything else, there's degrees of that, but that it increases fear in us, and fear and victims go hand in hand. The more fearful we are, the less control we feel we have. We went through that whole list. Therefore, we feel separated, like we're all alone, and that there's no options for us. We're hopeless. When we're a master, being a master and mastery and being a victor is all based on the emotion of love, right? Love. When we're feeling loved, we feel like we're more powerful. We feel like we're invincible. Think of and maybe you're in love right now. Think of someone that you love. How do you feel about yourself when you feel and know that you're loved? Very different than when you feel afraid and unloved and alone, right? So this 6-step process, of course, from my amazing, one of my most amazing people that I have learned a lot from in the world, it comes from the Lynn Grabhorn book. Remember, I'm working on this as part of my going through the soul plan for each of these different areas of my life. It's interesting how I started this and committed to doing this book for the relationship aspect of my life, right? And it turns out that it's actually been more powerful from a mental and emotional standpoint, which of course, guess what? All of these aspects and areas of our life are connected, right? We are very complex human beings, and we can't think that one area of our life doesn't affect another area of our life. If you've ever had a health challenge, you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever had a relationship challenge, you know what I'm talking about. If you've ever had a heartbreak or an emotional challenge, and that involves, you know, they're all connected, right? Can you have a heartbreak or a relationship challenge without it impacting you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally? I don't think so. Maybe. Put in the comments below, call me if you have been able to totally isolate one area of your life and not have it be impacted or impact other areas of your life, because I want to talk to you so I can figure out how I can do that and I can master that. So emotionally, there's a great exercise in this book. It's called the 6 Steps to Feeling Loved. Because guess what? Sometimes we don't feel loved, right? If the universe and the world and everybody loves us because we're human beings and all human beings deserve love and we're all infinite beings, how come we don't feel loved sometimes? I don't know about you, but there's lots of times I don't feel so loved, right? Sometimes I don't feel so lovable. And Lynn talks about a lot of those things. And again, some of those, depending on your experience, would seem kind of woo and out there. One of the things I didn't remember reading that she says is that each of us, when we're born, come in with like 2 spirit guides or 2 people that hang out with us through our entire life, so we're never really alone. I don't remember reading that the many times I've read this book, and I saw it yesterday. I'm like, yeah, here it says, first of all, you can't even get into this place we call Earth without at least 2 old buddies in the unseen to walk with you daily. It's the first sentence of a new principle, we are never alone. And I'm like, I don't remember consciously ever reading that. And so do I believe that or not? I don't know. I wish I knew who my 2 buddies were, because sometimes I would have called on them for a lot more help than trying to figure stuff out all by myself. Anyway, let's look at this process is guaranteed. And she says this is guaranteed to work if you allow the feelings. Now, there's always an if, right? Anything can work for us if we let it, and if we do it and take action on it. And the same thing that makes people super successful, like billionaires, we can know every secret that they have, that they share. But if we don't do it, if we don't feel the things that they feel, if we don't think the way that they think, if we don't take the actions that they would take, that knowledge of their billion-dollar hacks and tricks and secrets and everything, they're not going to do us any good, because we're not going to apply them. And just like anything else. She's got a 6-step process, and she says, you do this for 30 days and you're guaranteed to feel loved and be a loved master. But of course, it's like anything else. If you don't do it, you get out of everything, right? We get out of everything what we put into it. We get out of everything in our lives what we put into it. I remember always lecturing my kids about, hey, get out of school what you put into it. Because I remember, maybe I remember wrong, but I really liked high school, right? I thought high school was a blast. Neither of my kids liked high school. My son ended up doing online school, and my daughter hated high school. Both of my kids hated school, which I was like, how can you hate school? School is so fun. Learning is so fun. They love learning. They just didn't like the structure of school and the public education system. Maybe it's because I sent them to private school for the first 8 years, and then I dumped them into the high school. I don't know. I'm sure there's some reason that they felt victimized by going to high school. But anyway, how do you feel loved? By putting in this process. And guess what? It's only 15 minutes a day. So let me read you the process, and I invite you to adopt this and try it for 30 days, and then let me know, how do you feel? Message me, okay, yeah, it didn't work, or hey, yeah, I feel more loved because of this, that, or the other thing. So what are the 6 steps? And I wrote them down in my notebook because I already committed to, I'm going to try this for 30 days and see what happens. Because you know me, I'm an early adopter, and I like to try stuff, especially things that I have to commit to for 30 days. My sister was teasing me, we were out of town this weekend. She's like, how come you're always torturing yourself and doing all these challenges? And I'm like, I like doing them. But she doesn't understand that. It's amazing how we can all have the same experiences or similar experiences in a family, yet each and every one of us are so different. How would we think other people that have never had similar experiences to us aren't so different? And why and how do we not embrace those differences and say, oh my God, that's incredible. How did that make you feel? What can I learn from that? Wow, amazing. Instead, we criticize and judge anything that's different. Well, some people do. I try not to. Of course, though, we're all inherently prejudiced, and we do that naturally. Okay, so 6-step process. This is our homework. And it isn't your homework. Your homework for today, as part of the challenge, is to pick one thing and take action on it. This is just a, hey, if you're like me and I need to feel and get stronger emotionally, and the love is at the top of the pyramid, right? If I want to really improve my life, I'm not going to try feeling content or happy or whatever. I'm going to go for the gusto, and I'm going to go for, I want to feel more love. So that's why I picked this. All right, step 1. Find a special place where you can go alone, preferably outside or somewhere that you can have be your secret and keep be your secret, a secret special place. You want it to be a special place for you. Number 2, spend 15 minutes there each day for 30 days. Step 3, make yourself very, very comfortable, always in the exact same place. So I'm thinking about, where do I want my place to be? And there's a park right by where I live that has this amazing swing on it. It's got this swing overlooking the downtown city, and it's beautiful. And so I'm thinking that might be my special place every day. But I'll have to pick a time to go there that I'll be really comfortable because there won't be other people there. And it's not really a secret place. So I might have to reevaluate where I'm going to go and what I'm going to do. But I'm going to pick a place that I love that's outside, hopefully weather permitting. It's summer where I am, so I should be able to get away with it for 30 days. There'll be rain days. I got a raincoat. I got an umbrella. Think only in all caps about you, your value as a human being, your right to be, and your right to be loved. That's all you're going to think about for 15 minutes. Anything. Don't, and then step 5, don't let in so much as one tiny problem. They must stay behind. Any problems, negative thinking, nonsense, anything that's bothering you, any doubt, worries, or fears, none of that is allowed in your mind for this 15-minute period. All you're thinking about is you, your value as a human being, your right to be loved. You deserve to be loved. I deserve to be loved. Every human being on this planet deserves to love and be loved. Unconditionally, by the way. And step 6, ask those who walk with you to surround you with their love. Now, again, depending on what you believe. If you believe in angels, if you believe in spirit guides, if you believe in God, if you believe in whatever kind of things outside of you that can help you and guide you to the light or whatever you believe, if you want their help, ask for their help. Do this for 30 days. same place. It's best if it's in the same place, same time, a secret place where you can feel what you're going to feel, and allow yourself to just go there and feel love. Allow yourself to think about times in the past when you felt absolutely, positively, unconditionally loved, and how you know that you deserve that, and that you deserve that now all the time as well. Anyway, this is the 6-step guaranteed process to follow for 30 days, but you got to really do it, right? If you do it for 20 days and then you miss 5, did you really do it for 30 days? No, I think the purpose is to get us in the habit of appreciating and focusing on and acknowledging our value as a human being, and that we are inherently loved, and that when we love ourselves, we open ourselves up to allow other people to love us as well. So that is the activity. That's actually the action I'm going to do starting today for the next 30 days. Maybe I'll get a better, more cheerful, happy disposition. We'll see, right? Not so owly sometimes. But that is the process that's guaranteed to make us feel loved. So I challenge you to try this. And maybe you only need to do it for a few days and it becomes a habit for you. But it's kind of like meditation. Whenever you set aside 15 minutes a day for yourself to focus on nothing, focus on meditating, you get massive benefits and progress in the area of the things that you meditate on, or just in your happiness and your well-being, which again, higher level frequencies, higher level emotions. We get what we put out into the world. So I want to challenge everybody to try this at least for a few days. I'm going for 30 because, you know, when I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. My biggest challenge is going to be, where can I go for solitude, peace, and quiet at the same time every day? It doesn't say it has to be the same time. It says a special place, a secret where you won't be bothered. 15 minutes there each day for 30 days. And I don't know, I just said same time every day because that works for me. I guess it's not even in here. See, we tweak everything and we make it work for us no matter what. And we'll see what happens. And then I love this quote: unconditional love does not mean loving in spite of conditions. It means recognizing that loving is the only condition. Now, I know there's people that you love unconditionally. There's people that love me unconditionally. I think of my kids and my granddaughter. I love them no matter what. There's nothing that they could do that would prevent me from loving them. I love them unconditionally. They don't have to be nice to me. They don't have to pay attention to me. They don't have to do anything except exist, and I love them unconditionally. Find people, at least one other person like that in your life. And guess what? It's not your significant other. Your significant other, we all have rules and guidelines that we will or will not love them through. Divorced, I obviously had a mismatch in my choice of partner in my relationship, and I did love him conditionally. There were things that he could do morally, ethically, and painfully to me that caused me to not love him. Now guess what? I still love him. I will never, once you love somebody for 25 years, you don't just stop loving them all the way, but I do not love them as, I love them as a human being, but not as a partner ever for me. So if that makes sense, find somebody that you love unconditionally and think about that relationship. Or maybe somebody that you loved unconditionally in the past and maybe they passed away, right? I loved my dad unconditionally, and he passed away 5 years ago. So maybe it's a relationship like that, because we can pull from our past in ways that empower us instead of ways that drain us. Have an awesome, amazing day. If I can help you in any way, if you have any questions about this or want to talk about the process, just ask in the comments below. Otherwise, I will be with you tomorrow for day 31 of our 40-day challenge. We're running down the last leg of our challenge now. Last 25%. Crazy already. All right. Have a great day, and I'll, of course, see you tomorrow.